Welcome to Healthy Buzz, the podcast for women who are craving honest answers in a supportive community. Hosted by Brandy Homerding, a certified nutrition therapy practitioner who believes your body isn't broken, but the narrative around women's health is. Each week, we're diving deep into holistic health topics, challenging the one-size-fits-all approach, and empowering you to trust your own informed intuition. Get ready to feel seen, supported, and seriously informed. This is Healthy Buzz, where collaboration meets unfiltered transparency in women's health. Move over, protein, because there's a new health trend that is stealing your spotlight. If you've been scrolling on Instagram or if you've been on Health Talk lately, you have probably seen the new darling of the nutrition world. I'm talking about fiber maxing. So social media has sort of moved on from this massive obsession with everybody hitting 150 grams of protein every day to now racing to see who can eat the most beans, most chia seeds, and raw kale to get the maximum amount of fiber in their day. So I'm not talking about the recommended 25 to 40 grams of fiber. Yes, 100%. I support that. But I'm talking about fiber maxing that has people pushing 50, 60, even 80 grams of fiber a day. So as a nutrition therapy practitioner, I love that we're talking about fiber. I love that it's finally getting some attention. It is essential for your hormone health, blood sugar, gut health, so many important things. But here's the unfiltered truth. For many of you, fiber maxing is a one-way ticket to a flare-up of bloating, gas, and constipation. So if your doctor told you need to increase your fiber, or if you have seen this trend on social media and you're like, okay, yes, I'm going to increase my fiber, but now you're suddenly doubled over in pain, you're unbuttoning your pants after every meal that has more fiber in it, and you're feeling more constipated than ever, then this episode is for you. Today, we're going to talk about why your body actually isn't broken when you increase your fiber. It's actually just sending you some signals that your gut isn't quite ready for this fiber maxing trend. So before we dive into the why, let's touch on the what about fiber. Fiber is an essential component of a healthy diet. It's known for its various health benefits, including improved digestion. Some studies show that it helps with weight management. It definitely helps with your blood sugar and insulin sensitivity. It also has improvements with your cholesterol. Now, fiber can only be found in certain carbohydrate foods. So you won't find fiber in foods like steak or eggs or cheese, unless, of course, it has been processed and that fiber has been added to the food. So soluble fiber is going to be found in foods like oats and beans and fruits. Soluble fiber dissolves in water and creates a gel-like substance. This helps with slowing the digestion process down. Insoluble fiber is typically found in whole grains, nuts, and vegetables. This is going to add bulk to your stool, and it aids in moving food through the digestive tract. So this type of fiber is really crucial for preventing constipation and promoting regular bowel movements. In the perfect world, fiber feeds our good bacteria, which produce short-chain fatty acids that keep us feeling really great and amazing. Super important, those short-chain fatty acids. So here's the reality check that you came for. Fiber is sort of a stress test to your digestive system. If your digestive function isn't working properly, and I'm talking about your stomach acid isn't sufficient, your gallbladder may be a little bit sluggish, your digestive enzymes are not sufficient enough, and you're dumping 50 grams of fiber into a system, you're going to be causing a lot of issues. Think of it like a sink with a really slow drain. You don't fix the problem by turning on the faucet to full blast and hoping that the pressure just clears it out. You're going to end up with a flooded kitchen sink and a huge mess. Pushing 50 grams of fiber into your gut that isn't draining properly and moving things along is like turning up the faucet on a system that's already dysfunctional. So when fiber causes pain, it's usually not a fiber problem, it's a microbiome problem. So the first thing that we think about is like the gut bacteria. Our gut bacteria need fiber. But if you have an overgrowth of opportunistic or bad bacteria, or you're dealing with something like SIBO, small intestinal bacteria overgrowth, where there's an overgrowth of bacteria in the small intestine, you aren't just feeding yourself, you're also feeding these bacteria. So you're kind of throwing an all-you-can-eat buffet at microbes that are maybe contributing to your gas and bloating. Then there are a certain group of bacteria that are known to be methane-producing gas. So methane doesn't just make you gassy. It literally can be like a stop sign for your bowels, leading to heavy bricks in my stomach type of constipation. And as I mentioned before, stomach acid. I mean, I talk ad nauseum with my clients about the importance of stomach acid. It is the key to having proper functioning digestive system. So if you're lacking in it, you're going to have a lot of issues. So you can have something underlying with your GI system that can decrease the amount of stomach acid that you are producing. You could have something like H. pylori that reduces the amount of stomach acid you can produce. There are other factors that also affect your stomach acid. And if your stomach acid is inadequate, you're going to set yourself up for an overgrowth of opportunistic bacteria, SIBO, or even a parasite, all of which can cause inflammation in the gut. So when your microbiome is imbalanced, more fiber is going to cause more issues. The other thing that I see all the time is that you decide you want to get healthy on a Monday and you go from eating about 10 grams of fiber daily to trying to do 40 grams of fiber overnight. Your microbiome is a living ecosystem and it needs a little bit of time to adapt. So when you flood your system way too fast, you're basically asking your gut to run a marathon when you've been sitting on the couch for 6 months and it's not going to go well. So it's going to cramp, it's going to protest, you're going to feel like shit. So let me share a real life example. I remember being in my 20s before I pursued a career in nutrition, and I had heard about hey, fiber is really important. So I was at the grocery store and I grabbed a granola bar that promoted fiber. So I ate that bar in the afternoon, towards the end of my workday, and then I went to the gym. And oh my gosh, I was miserable. I was extremely gassy and bloated, and I had a tummy ache the rest of the night. And at that point, I swore off any fiber boosting bars ever again. But in reality, I had a lot to learn about fiber. Given my less than optimal diet that I had at that time and the constant gut issues that I was dealing with whenever I would going for a run, it was no wonder that fiber made me feel like shit. So this is where I want to give you some informed intuition. If your doctor or a TikTok influencer has told you to eat more fiber, but your body is screaming, no, do not do this, I want you to give yourself permission to listen to your body over the metrics. You might need to slow your fiber roll here. So health isn't about hitting a number on a tracking app if that number makes you feel like you're 6 months pregnant by 4 p.m. We need to stop muscling through the discomfort, and you can be extra grateful for what fiber actually does when you're better able to tolerate. So these two things can be consistent at the same time. They can coexist. You can be grateful for what fiber does for the body, and you can want a better experience for yourself with fiber. So what do we do? Where do we go from here? Okay, we've established what fiber does, why it's important, why you might not be tolerating fiber well. So if you're one of those people who's oh gosh, I struggle every single time and I am constantly bloated at the end of the day, I'm unbuttoning my pants and I am just the gassiest person in the room. Here's what we do. We need to understand what is actually causing the issues in your microbiome. So this is where functional lab testing comes in. This is way more efficient than the guesswork. So if you're struggling, we need to see what's actually living in your gut. Is it that you have an overgrowth of certain bacteria? Do you not have enough of certain bacteria? Are you dealing with something like H. pylori or impaired digestion? Maybe your gallbladder's not functioning properly. We need to understand what's actually happening in your microbiome. Then we also need to support the foundation. So this, again, goes back to stomach acid. Guys, I love talking about stomach acid because it is so fucking important when it comes to your digestive health. So we need to look at how your body is digesting. And we need to understand the bile flow. So your gallbladder is really important when it comes to bowel motility, the bile from that. We can do a whole episode about the gallbladder and why that's so important. But sometimes it isn't that we actually need more fiber in these instances. We need better digestion. I would say 9 times out of 10, we need better digestion more than we need more fiber to improve our gut symptoms. Then we have the mind-gut connection. When you are in a stressed out state, when you're in this fight or flight, whether it's processing all the things that are happening in our world today, or you have a coworker that's really annoying, or you have these massive looming deadlines, whatever it may be, stress is going to divert blood flow away from your gut. And when you're eating in a stressed out state, you're not going to be optimizing digestion. So eating this fiber maxing bowl while you're sitting stressed out at your desk, your gut is not going to stand a chance here. We need to get back into the foundations of good meal hygiene, where we are present, we are engaging our senses, we're chewing our food, and we're enjoying our food that we're eating. So before I wrap up, I want to hear from you because I know that it can feel really lonely if you are the only person at the dinner table who can't eat the healthy salad without feeling completely miserable. So what is the one healthy food that everybody raves about, but your gut absolutely says, no go, we are not going to tolerate this? I would love to hear from you because if it's that massive kale salad, or if it's the black bean brownies, or maybe it's just that morning chia seed pudding that you've seen everybody starting to make, I want you to drop it in the comments for me or send me a DM because let's normalize the fact that healthy looks different for every single body. So you deserve better than a Band-Aid solution when it comes to your symptoms. And some of these blanket, just eat more fiber, go low FODMAP, like we'll get into the FODMAP conversation in another episode, but you shouldn't ignore these symptoms. You shouldn't also accept just blanket Band-Aid approaches, nor should you just throw random supplements at your digestive system hoping that they will help. So if you're ready to move past the trends and find out what is the root cause of why your healthy diet feels so bad, this is exactly what my nutrition coaching program is all about. We are using advanced stool testing to create a strategy that is deeply individualized and deeply personal. So shrinking your life to fit your digestive system is not the route that we need to go. You can stop doing that when you actually have some answers. So let's address what's actually going on in your gut and help you feel healthy, happy, and less bloated. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Healthy Buzz. I hope this conversation has left you feeling seen, supported, and ready to take the next step in your health journey. Love what you heard? Make sure you subscribe to Healthy Buzz so you never miss an honest conversation. And if you found this valuable, please take a moment to leave a review. I truly appreciate it. For exclusive weekly tips and holistic strategies, be sure to subscribe to my weekly newsletter. The link is in the show notes. Remember, this isn't just nutrition, it's permission to trust your body. I'll catch you on the next episode of Healthy Buzz.